Hey, what's up? What's going on, everyone? It's October 2025. Halloween is coming. We're gonna do horror. We're gonna horror it up. We're gonna horror it up this month. Lots of horror. We have a lot of fun things planned, conversations, reviews. And today we're gonna start it off. We're gonna start off with this review here. This, The Night Creatures, by Brian Ball, originally released by New English Library, 1974, titled The Venomous Serpent. Now, I don't know why Fawcett Gold Medal changed the title when they republished it. I don't know. I also don't know who did this wonderful cover. I'm going to try and find out. If I do, I'll put it on screen, and if not, then I don't know. I don't know who did it. Maybe you can tell me. The Night Creature is a 1970s British folk horror story in league with something that might have been released by Amicus or the Hammer horror films in the 1970s. It totally has that atmosphere. It is a slow burn, much like that genre. That's what that genre is, right? That's what that folk horror genre is, the slow burn. It starts off kind of weird in the way that it's kind of supposed to be funny, I think. I don't know. It's told in this first person narrative, and it had all of these like cheeky, like pseudo humorous quips. And I was reading it and I was groaning and I was like, what the hell is this? Because if you look at that cover, that's not what it is. That's not what they sold you, you know? And I shut the book. I looked at that cover again. I was like, no way. There's no way that this is like a comedy hidden as a horror. I flipped it over. I read the back synopsis again. I was like, no way. I'm gonna continue on. I'm gonna fight through this. Not to mention, I was stuck in a car for an hour. I had nowhere to go and nothing else to read, so I had to muscle through it, and I did, and I'm glad that I did. This book stars our protagonists. Sally and Andy. They're young lovers in love, loving each other. They were college kids in the city. They've been dating for 4 months, and the reckless youth decide to drop out. What are they going to do? They're going to move out into the sticks. They're going to move out to Derbyshire. My apologies to all British people. I don't know terminology or where this stuff is located, but Derbyshire is an area, a rural area, farmers and old, small towns. And what are they going to do there? They're going to open a tourist gift shop. They're going to open a tourist gift shop. They're going to rent an old barn from a cranky old British man. It's going to overcharge them. And they're going to live in this barn and open up the shop. And they're going to sell junk. They're going to sell ceramic gnomes. Popular even back then. We got some ceramic gnomes out in our front yard. And they're going to find junk and sell it as antique to tourists. Sally's a painter. She paints some lovely horse scenes. She loves the horse scenes. Though they are labeled as sad. They're sad horse scenes for some reason. I don't know. It has nothing to do with anything, but kind of amusing. So one day out looking for junk in Stymied, the small ghost town of Stymied, Sally finds a church that is crumbled down. All the walls have fallen in. For some reason, she's drawn to it, and she digs through the rubble, and she finds a monumental brass etching. Okay, and if you're an American, you're probably like, what the hell is a monumental brass? Because that's what I thought. I had to stop and look it up. It is in carving made into brass that they would install into the concrete, I guess. They were very popular in England. They're usually associated with religion. And I guess around the time of the writing of this book, it was very popular to sell rubbings of them. They were worth big bucks. It's owned by the church, you know, the church. It's on their property. So people would sneak in and do rubbings and sell them at their tourist shops, I guess. I don't know. But it was a very popular thing. So I think it was very quiche. And the author was inserting this as kind of a trendy item. So the horror revolves around this thing that was trendy at the time. Anyway, Sally walks in the door. She's got her rubbing. She made the rubbing of the monumental brass, and she chucks it at Andy. He unravels it, and what is pictured is a man and a woman, very stoic man and woman. But for some reason, the woman's face is completely chiseled out. Somebody had went in there, just carved it out, all harsh. And that's very odd. He's like, oh man, it's a shame that someone carved out the woman's face. And she's like, hey, I'm an artist, dude. We'll paint that back in when we do the rubbings. And he's like, okay, yeah, that's legit. And he looks down at the feet of the man and the woman. And at his feet is a lion, and at her feet is this dog-like creature, this kind of eerie dog-like creature. So they're very excited. They're already counting their money. They're like, oh man, we're going to be so rich. She did a little bit of research on it. It turns out that no one even knows this thing exists. I guess that the church knows of all monumental brass artwork that exists throughout their churches, and this one is unknown. So it's going to be worth even more money. They're throwing their pounds around, whatever they spend at the time, and they're going to be rich. They're very excited. That night, they hang it on the wall. Okay, they're very excited. They hang it on the wall. It's a celebration. Celebrate across the nation. That night they go to bed. Andy has a terrible nightmare. Wakes up in the middle of the night. Goes out into the living room. The moonlight is shining through their open windows. They always sleep with the windows open, and the moonlight is just barely coming through, just illuminating that rubbing on the wall. He glances at it, and it almost looks like that little dog by her feet is kind of moved a little bit. Maybe her dress moved a little bit underneath where the dog is. And he's like, oh man, that's a trick of my eye. I'm just, it was that weird nightmare. It's the moonlight. I'm going back to bed. He goes back to bed. The next day they wake up. It's going to be hard to hear. I'm just warning you right now. They had 2 little kittens, and one didn't make it through the night. But like I said, they sleep with their windows open. So he's like, shit. Some creature crawled in through our window. Was it a weasel? These goddamn weasels. This poor kitten. Sally sees it, freaks out. Oh, God, that's sad. It really is sad. It's a sad thing that happens. Well, she's freaking out. He's starting to think about the occurrence that happened the night before. And he goes over to the rubbing, and what's there but a little bit of blood down by where that weird dog creature is. Well, that's fucking odd. And he's creeped out. So what does he do? He tells her. He's like, I'm going to tell you this crazy story. And oddly enough, she doesn't dismiss it. She listens to him. I'm not saying she believes it, but she's like, she's like, I believe you, but, I don't believe you. And they're like, well, check this out. Let's go back to Stymede. Let's go back where you found the original brass plate. And we're going to compare what they look like to see if that dog creature is in a different pose than what's in the brass in the crumbled church. So they go to Stymede. It's out in the sticks. It's looking wonderful, atmospheric descriptions of the rural countryside. It's very British. It's always raining, always overcast. And they get to this crumbled little ghost town, and there's the villagers peering at them through the windows, just the curtains sliding. Not welcoming. They are not welcoming. And they get to the church, and they climb in, and they find the plate, and it's in the same position. The dog is in the same position, and they're like, well, that's weird. Whatever. It's all right. We're still going to make a lot of money. They go home next night. Andy has another nightmare. He has another nightmare, wakes up. It's the same exact scenario, but it's amped up. He feels even weirder. He goes into the living room, and now the moonlight is blasting through the window. It's illuminating everything. It's illuminating the dust in the air. It's almost like this dreamlike snow floating all around him. He looks at the rubbing again, and this time the dog is moving. There's no like, I'm half asleep. That dog comes to life in the rubbing, and its paws, its legs, they turn into snakes, and the snake-like dog creature starts crawling up the woman all around her body, and it gets up to here, and all of a sudden her arm comes up and lovingly embraces this creature. Now he is fucking freaked out. He's like, holy shit. Now at this point, I'm reading it I'm reading it at night. I'm reading it right before bed. I read with the lights off, with just a little book light illuminating it so everything around me is dark. And it's creepy. It's really getting to me. I'm like, this is awesome. This is great. This is a great story to read in the middle of the night, late at night, all alone. No, my wife was there, but she was asleep, so it was like I was just like Andy in the story. And that night I had a nightmare. This book gave me a nightmare. I was out in the woods. It was creepy. It was dark. It was overcast. It was nighttime. And there were snakes all around me and little critters hidden in the darkness. And that right there that's high quality storytelling. Is that if it gets into your mind, and that your subconscious creates a whole scenario based off of this scary occurrence that happens in this story. So, man, I can't believe that it started off as this joke, as I was so bummed of reading that first chapter and hearing those stupid, cheeky jokes, and now it has given me nightmares. It's giving me nightmares, 100%, or 180 degree turn. And so that is the first 4 chapters. I know I just talked like I just spoiled the whole book, but it's just the first 4 chapters, and I don't want to tell you anymore. I don't want to tell you any more of like the details of what's going on. The rest of the book is them studying, looking into who the people were that were in the monumental brass piece of art. They kind of have differing opinions on how this should be handled. He is not a fan. He wants to burn this fucking rubbing and have nothing to do with it. And she is entranced by it. She's very interested in it, but she's also aloof. It's weird. And she is, whenever he is like, I'm going to burn it, I hate this thing. And she's like, okay, honey, yeah, that's fine. But she's also really interested. She's always bringing it up. She's always like, oh, that's like Sybil. Because this woman's name is Sybil. She's like, oh, that's what Sybil would do. This is that. And he's like, girl, what is going on with you? Are you like, how is this affecting you? And now he's like, am I imagining this? Am I imagining that all these weird things that are happening at night, this rubbing coming to life, is it really happening? Is it taking over her? Is it doing something to her and making her act in this weird way? Like I said, this thing is radiating classic gothic horror atmosphere. The barn they live in is built in 1710. All the roads are winding country roads through the rural landscape. Beautifully written, wonderfully executed. You really envision it in your mind. In the daytime, it is raining. It's always raining and overcast, and at night it's full moon. The moon is just blasting through their open windows. They sleep with the windows open, and you can almost smell the earthy air coming in through the window. I really like the characters of Sally and Andy. They're a very happy-go-lucky young couple. They're having a good time. They're having a good time with their little lives. They're very much in love, and they're not some old bitter couple. You know, sometimes in these horror books, they add this dimension of a couple having difficulties going through a breakup or some other side garbage that you don't need. If you need to put that in your horror book to create more attention, then you're failing at horror. You're failing at the horror aspects of your novel. This wonderful couple, this wonderful, happy, young, healthy couple is pleasant. They're just so pleasant to spend time with, and there's no bickering. I mean, they have arguments, but it's not annoying. It's not annoying. I love that they have great motive, and the things that they do are exactly what a 20-year-old would do with very little life experience, having to deal with these odd occurrences. They don't handle them the way you probably should, the way you would if you were an older person. Got a little ageism there, it doesn't matter. If you look at my demographics, you are all old. I also love the side characters, the characters from the two town. Though the characters from Stymied, the ones in the ghost town, are these kind of poor, shambly dressed, missing teeth. They believe in superstition. There is pagan aspects. There's pagan aspects to this story. Like at one point, a constable tells Andy, like, "You don't want to go over to Stymied. Don't you know what day it is? It's May Day, man. It's Walpurgis Night. No one goes to Stymied on Walpurgis Night." Are the rural characters, are the townies, are they characterizations? Are they stereotypical? Yeah, okay, yeah, we'll give you that one. You know, like in American Werewolf in London, when they go to the pub out in the middle of nowhere, that's kind of exactly the feel of the villagers here. I do love the trope of the young city college kids out in the sticks having to deal with the rural yokels, the opposing culture clash, I guess. The evil in this book is ancient and mysterious. It's an ominous, ever-present evil, breathing down your neck, taking slow steps to your ultimate doom. It's classic horror. This is classic pulp horror. I don't even, actually, maybe even before pulp horror, so it's gothic-y. It's more gothic. Take a little bit of gothic and then take a little bit of pulp, take a little bit of folk tale, mush them all together, and this is it. The Night Creatures, amazing. It's an amazing read. Read it at night with just one light on, even a candle. Read it by candlelight. That would be the perfect atmosphere for this book. I'm saying yes, hell yes, 5 stars, 5, I don't know, ghostly rubbings. 5 ghostly rubbings up. That sounds really dirty. And yeah, stay tuned. The rest of the month we're getting horror crazy. We're getting horror crazy. I'm doing the wrong sign. We're getting horror crazy. And I'm out of here.